Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Fatimah Najihah binti Azmin, metric number 270161. Today, me and my group will present about how the organization managed the employee performance during this pandemic COVID-19. Basically, employee performance is the continuous process that managers do to identify, measure, and develop the performance of individual or teams to ensure the attainment of the organization strategic objective. This never-ending process include the process of setting goals and objective, observing performance, giving and receiving ongoing coaching and feedback. Manager must guarantee that employees' activity and outputs are aligned with the organization goals in order to assist the company obtain a competitive edge through performance management. As a result, performance management establishes a direct link between employees' performance and organizational goal, as well as highlighting pupil contributions to the organization. The employee performance management can give both positive and negative impact to the organization. A good performance management can help to empower employees, manager and supervisor who communicate with their staff about business event and goals, help them to understand their place in larger picture. Other than can empower employees, a good employee's performance management can also create a positive work environment, measure employee growth, establish team trends, and more. While a poor performance employee management can give a negative impact to the organization. For instance, increase the turnover. When the employee sees the process at the current job are not so fair, it can make the employee become upset and leave the organization. This situation can give loss for the organization. Other than this, there are a lot more negative impact that the company get if they have a poor employee performance management, which is wasted time and money, employee burnout, job dissatisfaction, and unclear rating system. In this project, our group decided to choose Percon Construction Sendirian Berhad as reference material. This company are located at Seri Kembangan, Selangor. We have interviewed Ms. Azmina, a human resource manager at the company, to ask about the issue. So, I will pass this presentation to my other group mate so that they can explain our findings and their point regarding this project. Thank you.
Next is COVID-19 and employee performance. As we know, COVID-19 outbreak has impacted many people, especially those who are working to support their life. It also pushed almost all the employees around the world to work in completely different setting in comparison to what it used to be before. For example, social distancing, travel restriction and remote work, which is changing the way of employee work. Because of that, it started to affect employee performance. The first impact on work performance is change of behavior. Most of them became emotionally unstable and stressed due to the fear of the virus COVID-19. For example, they started to feel conscious of the space, surface, and other people because they feared that they will get virus COVID-19 on them. This kind of behavior will cause them to feel more stressed and affecting their work because they keep getting worried on virus COVID-19 rather than getting their work done. The second impact is employee productivity reduced. This due to the work from home environment because there are too many distractions that keep them from getting their work done. The employee can't focus while they are doing their works. Because of that, they can't perform their job well and unable to finish it or to do it right, which is it causes their work performance to reduce. The third impact on work performance is multitasking the job. The employee need to multitasking their tasks when they are working from home. This is because when they are working from home, they not only need to do their job tasks but also the other tasks such as house chores or babysitting their children. It kind hard to do more than one work at a time and it causes them to becoming more stressed and can't getting any work done. The fourth impact on work performance is lack of interaction and communication. When the COVID-19 outbreak, most of the employees need to work from home and isolated from the other people in order to prevent the spread of the virus COVID-19 to the other people. And because of that, the employees can't communicate face-to-face with their colleagues. The fifth impact on work performance is employee motivation, commitment, and intention to stay inside the organization reduced. As we know, the amount of the salaries and reward system that the company use are one of the major factors on why employees want to keep working with them and also continue on giving their best performance. However, because of the COVID-19 outbreak, most of the companies around the world get affected and it causes a major loss in their sales. The company may need to cut the budget of the employee performance system, reward system, as well as employee salaries in order to cover the loss of the company facing during the pandemic. Because of that, employee motivation and commitment to stay inside the organization are reduced because they fear that the organization will cut off their salaries and can't give them any rewards. The sixth impact, which is the last impact of the work performance, is employee engagement reduced. This is because all the employee engagement activities that are used for the employees to get more involved and committed to the organization, strike the bond between the other workers, as well as increase their performance, are restricted during this pandemic. This is due to the new SOP that demand employees to work from home. Because of that, they can't communicate well with each other because lack of interaction and communication between them. This kind of situation make the job task kind of hard to perform, especially that the work need to be done in team because they can't ask directly face to face, which is can cause them to feel more stressed and can't do the job perfectly and doing well with the job.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nur Khadidatul Masya binti Saka, district number 271450. I'm going to continue this presentation. We discuss about the interview season with HR manager of Pembinaan Perempuan. So first question is, in what way COVID-19 outbreak has impact your organization? COVID-19 outbreak has impacted many people since the virus is spreading all around the world. Organization, especially Pembinaan Perempuan Sdn Berhad, is also inseparable from getting the impact of COVID-19 outbreak. The positive impact of COVID-19 to Pembinaan Perempuan Sdn Berhad is the organization hire more employee during COVID-19. It is because organization need more employee at the site to complete the project on time. Okay, during MCO, many employee lost their job, but Pembinaan Perempuan Sdn Berhad managed to retain and attract new employee to work at the construction site, so that they can complete the project according to the deadline. Next is the negative impact of COVID-19 to these organizations. The negative impact is they are delayed in complete the project on time. So during the first MCO on March 2020, government not allow any organization, including construction sector, to operate. So the delay of the project inflict a loss to the organizations, and they need a budget to continue the project. So according to the Miss Azmina, the implementation of work from home might reduce employees' productivity because they are not in working environment where supervisor or manager can monitor their performance. Hence, employer might feel lazy to work at home because there are many disruptions while trying to settle down all their work. Meanwhile, following the SOP while working at the workplace might feel uncomfortable. as uncomfortable as they cannot take off their face mask and need to keep social distancing between co-worker even though at the small office. However, according to Ms. Azmina, working at the office is more effective as the employee are familiar with the working environment where there are less of distractions. The third question is what is the first step that pembinaan perkonsilian berhad takes to surface the negative impact of COVID-19? So the first step the organization take is to decide to reduce the cost over next 3 to 6 months is made because employer in organization expect employer will ensure their employee will not lose their job in return for their service and excellence productivity that they give to help organizations. So it is a employer responsibility to ensure that all their uh, all their employees not lose their job because of this pandemic. That's all for me. I will pass the time to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Izzah Shazana binti Saini. My metric number is 270165. I will present about the other three questions of interview. The first question is about the most challenging situation in employee management appraisal during the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 is typically transferred to humans by tiny droplets or by interaction with infected surface. So people have to work from home because they can't go outside their house to break the chain of the virus. The pembinaan process sedang berhad doesn't have any face-to-face meeting in the process to discuss planning, decision-making, giving work instructions, and monitoring employees' work at all levels of administration. This challenge gives an impact on the beginning level of the Malaysian Movement Control Order (MCO) for this company. The media communication useful such as smartphones, social media, and digital media like Cisco Webex, Zoom, and Google Meet. That digital platform for meeting is different from the face-to-face communication. Companies were obligated to take into consideration about the staff experience utilizing digital capabilities since staff were compelled to work virtually from home for the period of our country shutdown. They couldn't Zoom staff to just make do with whatever they had. Thus, the additional knowledge and skills required in new norms in human capital management, especially in using online platforms in the work. Next, about work from home and the new SOP, while working has to change the way of your company's performance appraisal. The HR manager of this company agrees with the change, which is the change in performance appraisal. For instance, all the meetings with their employee can be handled through face-to-face meetings, but this company take the initiative to conduct the meeting by using the digital platform like Microsoft Meet, Google Meet, Zoom, and Skype applications that are suitable for handling meetings. Other than that, performance assessment systems include work productivity and disciplinary appraisals, as well as training and staff improvement initiative in some circumstances. So this company also analyzed the performance appraisals, development discussions, or employee appraisals to be documented and required even though the employee work through an online platform. Lastly, it is about employee performance appraisal has changes and either it gives impact to the employees' motivation of the organization. The HR managers that the changes happen in conduct the employee performance appraisal. The way of company use are the managers consistently monitoring the process of work, which is the work product has to deliver every day or 2 times a week for making sure the productivity is organized properly in the operation. Other than that, the manager and employee have to communicate with each other regularly, like the weekly conference calls, daily Skype chats, or two monthly process reports. It can help managers to interact with their employees to make the problem solving or recognize the current issues and forecast the productivity problem that possibly can happen in the future before the employee have to work from home. It because when the employee work from home, it make them difficult in solving the problem effectively. This action can make the employee have the responsibility to manage the productivity in the real terms. Thus, the analysis of job performance can give the motivation to enhance profitability, competence, and consistency. The next part will be presented by the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum, Doctor. My name is Shazana binti Japeli. My matric number 271898. Now we continue to the 5 strategies for the organizations to manage the employees' performance during this COVID-19 pandemic. First, regular performance review. This refers to the review of each employee's performance. Employees' performance review is very important and ensure to the successful of the company achievement. At the same time, it can help the company, especially to the HR management, maintain employees' performance during this pandemic. For my first suggestion, they should consider these 3 tips to the regular performance review. So my first point here is prepare for a meeting to have a conversation with the employees to give their performance review. This means they should arrange a suitable time with that particular workers at some place for a private conversation. In the conversation, they need to choose a right point. When decide to speak about any stumbles or defeat of the workers, they need to talk with more empathy. If they give the review to a remote worker, they can doing so through video call, like usually using a Zoom or a Webex or Google Meet for more personal and convenient. Make sure that the conversation is a two-way dialogue for a productive review discussion. Next point, adapt to any changed circumstances, because due to the difficulties during this pandemic, the flexibility in any aspect is very important. So the review or the performance result of the workers should be considered to the lens of pandemic. Look to the future as well as review the past performance accomplishment of each employees. Managers can start to initiate a new objective or goals for both long-term and short-term and make it sense based on their own position to make them be more motivated to achieve it. And second, employee engagement. This is very important because communication between employer and the employees are important in this difficulties time, especially in remote working which is work from home. In this strategy, they can implement a regular communication through a forum to make them easier share each other personal as well as their professional updates, because working from home is not so interesting to some people. There are many distractions from home, the example, and indirectly can make them feel stressed. So from this way, maybe it can make them feel better from fine communication with their colleagues. To boost employees' energy, the management can create few effective virtual activities such as quizzes or multiplayer games. While playing, they can also get new knowledge and new skills. And to ensure the employees working together, HR management can assign them in a collaborative weekly task. Then my third suggestion is learning and development. For sure, every organization know that learning and development is the thing that is essential to maintain the business growth and success. In this situation, employer and the employees as well aware that knowledge in technology is important to run their daily work. So the ability to combining new technology with creative learning method will enhance the employees' skills by emphasizing digital learning of the employees, such as in IT technologies platform will make the employees be more productive. In the remote working, the in-person learning can be converted to Zoom meeting. The management can prepare a video-based learning experience platform to make it more flexible for the employers to access it anytime and anywhere they wanted to. Not only that, the management also can focus on sharpening their soft skills and interpersonal skills to form more quality and productive employees.
Assalamualaikum and hi again. I will continue the presentation with the first strategy that organization use to manage their employee performance management during this pandemic COVID-19. So the first strategy is setting a clear goals. Basically, goals are a target that the organization wants to achieve in a certain time. Goals can provide direction and serve as a reference point. In other words, goals can be set as a purpose for the organization to establish. It is determining the success of and effectiveness of the organization. During this pandemic COVID-19, setting clear goals is more crucial than before due to increase of uncertainty related to all areas of life. Before this, setting a clear goal is important in order to make sure the organization grow and success. But now, setting a clear goal not only just for that, but also to shape the structure on how to work during this pandemic COVID-19, so that can create a positive and stable work environment to the employees. In other words, it is able to motivate employees to identify their current priorities. In the interview session before, Ms. Azmina mentioned that most of the employees who have to work from home easily to forget and lose focus. In this case, an organization cannot put the blame on the employees 100%. This is because we know that work from home is not easy. Rather than scolding or taking action against the employee, it is better if the organization helps the employee to recall the purpose and what to do by setting a clear goals. The last strategy that can be used of the organization is giving a recognition. Basically, employee recognition is a method to recognize and appreciate the contribution and manpower that employees have given. This recognition can indicate the level performance of employees. It actually was a sign of support and encouragement that the organization gave to the employees in order to make them become more motivated, courageous, and determined to do and to be better in the future. Giving recognition is not only able to increase employee motivation and enthusiasm, but also can reduce employees' turnover, can retain and increase organizational productivity. In a study conducted by Engagely 2020 found that 69% of employees will work harder if they got recognition and appreciation for their effort. Recognition can be in various of ways, not only by giving money, liquidity prize holding, holidays only, but also can be done in the form of public prize, badges, and points. Sometimes, saying thank you is enough to make people to feel appreciated and happy. So, the organization can use this strategy to boost their employees' motivation, as we know that most of the employees feel really confused about what to do in this pandemic. So, by giving a recognition, it was not only can improve motivation for the one who get it, but also can make other employees to work hard so that they can also receive the recognition as motivated recognition. Giving a recognition is important because it can increase the motivation of employee, and we know that motivated employee can increase the performance of the employees as well as increase the productivity of the organization.
In conclusion, COVID-19 outbreak has affected many people around the world, which is it caused their life to go down the hills, especially those who are working for the organization. This is because most of the organization around the world was badly impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak, such as loss in their sales, can't operate the company normally because of the new SOP, and lost their workers. The organization also suffered from the reduce of the employees' performance during this pandemic. This is due to the employee becoming more stressed and emotionally unstable during this pandemic, lack of communication and interaction among the workers due to the new SOP that demand them to work from home, less motivation to work well during this pandemic, employee salaries need to be cut off due to the loss that the company suffered during this pandemic, as well as employee engagement decreased during this pandemic. These all factors cause employee performance to drop during this pandemic, and it caused the company to suffer a loss because the productivity of their employee keep decreasing during this pandemic. So, in order to prevent this situation from happening in the future, the organization need to analyze and upgrade their employee performance management system and reward system that suit the best during this pandemic COVID-19 situation in order to boost the motivation of their employees as well as increase their performance during this pandemic.
So that's all from us. Thank you, sir, for lending your ears to hear our presentation. Have a nice day.